Hello, you're watching VNA News Bulletin. I'm Bong from Hanoi, and now the headlines as usual. Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng pays working visit to Hà Tĩnh province. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc urges for Petro-Vietnam's stronger growth. Private-owned museum in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province shows old weapons. On April 22nd, Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng had a working session with officials from the central province of Hà Tĩnh. We have more in the following report.
The party chief expressed his pleasure at the development of the province over recent time, which posted an economic growth of 18% during the 2011-2015 period, and industrial production increase of 37% in 2015. Hà Tĩnh province is home to 2 economic zones and 19 industrial parks, attracting 446 domestically and foreign invested projects with a total registered capital of over $23 billion. Especially, its Vũng Áng economic zone is considered the largest center of heavy industries in Southeast Asia. The party leader asked Hà Tĩnh province to realize the provincial party committee's resolution as well as the one issued by the 12th National Party Congress. While in Hà Tĩnh province, the party leader paid field trips to several key projects.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has urged the Vietnam National Oil and Gas Group to build on crucial achievements it has obtained to further develop in the future.
At a working session with the group in Hanoi on April 22nd, the Prime Minister acknowledged its efforts over recent years at contributing to fulfilling the nation's socio-economic development tasks, industrialization and modernization, as well as ensuring national energy security and the state budget. He said he hoped that the group would effectively realize a resolution on orientations for the development strategy for Vietnam's oil and gas industry by 2025 with a vision to 2035 with a focus on exploration, production, to transportation, processing, storage, distribution and export and import services. Petro-Vietnam should review regulations to improve the effectiveness of the state and business management, enhance the application of science and technology, and propose measures to launch tasks assigned by the party, state, and people, he said. In the first quarter of this year, Petro-Vietnam tapped 4.56 tons of crude oil, 7.2% higher than the set plan. It provided 5.21 billion kilowatt-hour for the national electricity grid.
Secretary of the Ho Chi Minh City Party Committee Đinh La Thăng met with Ishima Isao, Special Advisor to Japanese Prime Minister, on April 22nd.
At the reception, Đinh La Thăng extended his condolences to families of the victims of the recent quakes in Japan, expressing hope they will soon overcome the sorrow. Speaking highly of the Japanese businesses' efficient investment in the city, the leader expressed his wish that they will continue to expand investment, especially in environmental improvement, flood prevention, and urban traffic. He added, Ho Chi Minh City has exerted efforts to improve business climate to lure more foreign investors, including those from Japan. For his part, Ishima Isao said he hopes the city will create more favorable conditions for Japanese enterprises to invest in the locality, particularly in the environment, healthcare, culture, tourism, and transport.
The Department of Health in Ho Chi Minh City declared the end of Zika virus outbreak at the world level on April 21st. The Municipal Preventive Health Center said on April 20th that after announcing the Zika outbreak in Thành Mỹ Lợi Ward in District 2, the Health Department implemented measures to prevent the spread of the disease. In addition to spraying anti-mosquito chemicals at the working and living places of the patient, The center mobilized locals to kill mosquito larvae and increase examination and detection of new cases at 30 hospitals while coordinating with relevant departments and sectors to boost awareness of Zika virus and dengue fever prevention. After 23 days of inspections, Ho Chi Minh City detected no new cases. The Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee announced the Zika virus outbreak at the commune and ward levels after a case was reported in the locality on April 5th. At Thanh My Lợi ward in District 2, a 33-year-old pregnant woman tested positive for the virus after being hospitalized on March 29th. A scientific seminar titled Vietnam Today and Tomorrow was held in the Czech Republic on April 21st to celebrate the 41st anniversary of the liberation of South Vietnam and national reunification, April 30th.
Addressing the event, First Secretary of the Vietnamese Embassy in the country, Nguyễn Kim Hệ, informed participants of the outcomes of the 12th National Party Congress and measures to realize the resolution adopted at the Congress. The diplomat's presentation, 30 Years of Vietnam's Renewal, summed up achievements and shortcomings throughout Vietnam's renovation process. The event gives an insight into the history and course of Vietnam's renovation, particularly its experience in building a socialist-oriented market economy. The seminar was part of a series of events under the ideological education program of the Communist Party of Bohemia and Moravia. It attracted the largest ever number of opinions so far.
The Vietnam Food Association expects to export 1.6 million tons of rice in the second quarter of this year, 200,000 tons lower than the initial plan. The following report brings more details.
In the first 3 months of this year, Vietnam exported 1.59 million tons of rice. As so, rice exports in the first half of this year are expected to hit over 3 million tons, up 12% against the same period last year. For the whole year, the export volume is expected to remain at last year's figure of 6.5 million tons. In 2015, Vietnam earned $2.68 billion from rice export, a decrease of 3.94% in value. Asian countries were the main buyers, accounting for 74.5% of exports, followed by Africa and the US. Early April, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development was assigned to closely monitor rice production and exports. The move intended to ensure domestic food security and effectively manage export activities, given that prolonged and serious drought and saline intrusion are hitting major granaries in the country, particularly in the Mekong Delta. This year, the Delta expected to plant over 4.3 million hectares of paddy fields, which would yield approximately 25.7 million tons of rice. According to preliminary estimations, drought and saltwater have reduced the expected output by 700,000 tons, which are equivalent to 350,000 tons of rice.
The capital city of Hanoi is leading the country in foreign direct investment attraction, drawing over $810 million from 110 newly licensed and capital-added FDI projects in the first quarter of 2016, a five-fold increase year-on-year. Last month, representatives of the Municipal People's Committee granted an investment certificate to Samsung Electronics Vietnam to build a research center in Hoàng Mai District. The $300 million project aims to research and develop electronics and high-tech telecommunications products. It is expected to create about 4,000 jobs and significantly contribute to the city's export turnover. Previously, Japan's Aeon Group launched its commercial center in Long Biên District. With a total investment of $200 million, the project has become an attractive destination for locals, serving about 60,000 visitors a day. Last year, the city launched 1,637 FDI projects, worth $7.5 billion from 72 countries and territories, ranking third nationwide. Foreign invested enterprises contributed about 15% to the city's total investment of all sectors, accounting for the highest export turnover proportion among economic sectors. Municipal authorities have taken a series of measures to better the local business environment and facilitate enterprises' production and business. Many dialogues between city leaders and representatives from foreign businesses were so arranged. An exhibition of historical evidence proving Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa, Paracel, and Trường Sa Spratly archipelagos opened to the public in the Mekong Delta province of Tiền Giang on April 22nd. The event aims to raise the public's awareness and encourage Vietnamese nationals both at home and abroad, especially the youth, to protect and affirm Vietnam's sovereignty of the islands. On display are over 200 documents, maps and exhibits issued from the 17th to the outset of the 20th century by the Vietnamese feudal states and the French government in Indochina on behalf of the then Vietnamese state. Worthy of note is an atlas universal by Belgian geologist Philip van der Malen, which affirms Vietnam's sovereignty over the archipelagos. The exhibition shows that since the feudal states period until now, Vietnam has explored and exercised sovereignty over Hoàng Sa, Trường Sa, and other islands in the East Sea. The exhibition will run until April 26. The southern metropolis Ho Chi Minh City will set off fireworks in 4 venues to celebrate the anniversary of the liberation of South Vietnam and national unification and May Day. The shows are scheduled for 9 to 9:30 p.m. on April 30th at the roof of Saigon River Tunnel in District 2, Dam Sen Cultural Park in District 11, Củ Chi and Cần Giờ districts. As part of celebrations, a photo exhibition will open along main streets in District 1 from April 25th. Music performances, a bicycle race and other sport tournaments also scheduled for April 30th. On the occasion, the Municipal Labour Federation will launch the Workers' Month to honor outstanding workers and present gifts to those living in need. A variety of old weapons used by armies of different countries across the world are being displayed at a private museum, which was inaugurated in the southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu on April 21st. Let's join us to take a look.
Some 2,000 items on display used to be weapons of armies of many countries worldwide, such as the UK, France, Russia, Japan, and China. Robert Tyler, the owner of the museum, unveiled that he has another collection of 500 old weapons and battle dresses donated by his friends around the world. These items will be shown at the museum in the coming time.
The opening of the Worldwide Arms Museum is a very special thing for me. It has been my lifetime's ambition to open a museum. Why I chose Vietnam? Because I live here. This is my home. The collection you see here today will remain as my legacy I leave behind for the people of Vietnam.
Rất là mừng, rất là phấn khởi.
I'm very glad to see the museum reopens to the public. Local people now can contemplate the unique collection of old weapons.
Những cái chuyến du lịch nước ngoài nhưng mà ở đây.
Residing in Vũng Tàu City, Robert Tyler has a passion for Asian weapons. He wants to turn this museum into a popular destination for both locals and visitors when coming to the city. The museum opens to the public every day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And that has to wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.